Welcome to Stock Markets with KR. If this is your first time here, then I talk about the stock markets and personal finance. So make sure that you're subscribed if you like that. And on today's agenda, I'm going to talk about how I typically use my idle funds and park them overnight so as to get a return on that, or so as to return a return on that. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to minimize myself and we are going to move to the topic here at hand. And right, so this is of course a teaser into what how I'm able to generate those returns. But first, let me give you an idea on how terrible regular investments can be for such purposes. So let's say that you've got 20,000 rupees and you want to park them in a savings account. This is a short-term FD, by the way, and the reason is that I couldn't find a savings account calculator. So let's say 2.5%, or wait, yeah, 3%, perfect. So senior citizen, just ignore that. But let's say you're getting 3%, which is the average FD, which is the average savings account rate that I could find for my bank account. And let's say you invest 20,000 or invest 20,000, and I don't have a 1 day option, so you're gonna have to bear with me 7 days. All right, you're still getting just 12 rupees at 3%. That's terrible, right? Even that it's terrible. So it's not that good. The alternative, however, is much better, and this is a trade that I actually took yesterday that I'm going to be talking about. So I'll just mark where I entered. I entered somewhere around here, or actually, that's not the right place. I entered somewhere around here. Yeah, that's where I entered approximately, and I exited somewhere around here. Yeah, that's the one. So now the reason why I'm talking about this is because this move is 1.7%. Contrast that to the 3% that you were getting annually. Now what this means is that your 20,000 here would have been approximately 350 to 400 rupees. And that's just an example. You could have 50k in it, you could have 1 lakh in it, or you can have 10,000 in it. The amount is irrelevant. What's really relevant is the percentage. So the reason why I took this trade is because you can see that right around here, and I'll try to highlight that area. So right around this area, we can see that TCS has typically taken support. This is, by the way, TCS 15-minute chart. No indicators, because the indicators might just confuse you here, but we can see that right around this area TCS has come down and bounced up. It's come down and bounced up, and we can see how many times it's happened. It's happened here, it's happened here, happened here, happened here, happened this morning also, and that's what 6 times that it's happened, 5 times that it's happened. So clearly it's an important zone for TCS, and since it appeared to be taking support from that zone, I went long on TCS, and I'll just show you the zone better, where I went long. You can see right around here is where I went long. And right, so when the markets opened this morning, they opened gap down. They just nudged that previous close and went up, and I held on till 2815. So another reason for doing this is because we can see that even though it's in a downtrend, if we do make a trend line, if we do draw a trend line like this, this is in hindsight, this is not in hindsight. Let's say that you were trading this day, or you were trading yesterday or something. After that trend line, it has still managed to try and break out here, which means that the bulls are sort of in control. They want to break out. It's just that day momentum was not enough, which means that on some day at least momentum will be enough. Another example here is that talking about yesterday, this is where it had opened, right, and it went down right in that zone. As you can see, right here it tried coming up, just not enough momentum, right, and it slowly came back down, which means that there's a good chance that if once momentum comes, and IT in general was in momentum. IT wasn't that strong yesterday. So once the sector also saw some strength, it was able to break out, and after the breakout we can see it just climbed. So the first target for me would have been somewhere around here, 2800. We can see that around this level it's turned back a couple of times, here, and here also it sort of faced some nervousness, but that's fine. Now it breached that, so next target could have been somewhere around here where it sort of turned back from, or around here, but I am satisfied with what happened, and I exited the trade because of that. So this just goes to show that trading does not have to be just one size fits all. You can have trades where you sit on them overnight. You can have trades where you buy in the morning, exit by afternoon, which is intraday, or you can hold on for weeks and days and months and years. Now what you need to keep in mind is that if this is something which looks comfortable to you, is this not a good return, right? This is, by the way, this is called BTST, in case you're wondering, which is buy today, sell tomorrow, right? And it's a pretty nifty little way to earn a quick return. And there are always going to be risks. I'm not going to pretend that this is completely risk free and you log into your computer and then boom, you just see returns. And that's not going to be the case. That's never the case with any instrument. But the point here is that if you can do this over time, you don't have to think about what may happen next week. You don't have to think about your financial position next week when you use this. What you have to think about is, what if you continue this for a few years? What if you do this? What if you cultivate this skill for the coming few months, years, and then what can happen? Because right now you may have 20,000 or 10,000 as your idle funds. You never know, in a few years you might have enough confidence to do this with much more, and then the returns will be much more. So the point here is that this sort of strategy, again, very widely used, and this is not something new that I'm talking about. Many people do this, but yet many people are still afraid of it because that there's always a chance that it can come down. For instance, let's say that you would have bought TCS somewhere around here, went up, came back down. In that case, you would have either just had to exit once it was taking resistance, or you would have had to have the stomach and wait till it sort of took support. Personally though, it's better to just take a loss, but that's a different topic for a different day. But the point here again is that make sure that you're open to these kind of things. And I'll be doing more videos like this where I talk about my trades and why I took them, and whether they were profitable and so on. I won't just talk about profitable trades. That's not me. But yeah, I mean, this is a very important thing. You can join my Discord also. My Discord has more information, more learning resources as well. But yeah, this is how I was able to earn a 1.74%, I believe, return on investment overnight, right? And if you were having 20,000, then that would have earned you around 340 rupees, if I'm not wrong, and that is just overnight. That's not bad, is it? So yeah, that's it for this one. After this video, I am going to upload one where I talk about the IPO. There's a mosquito here. Where I talk about the Mrs. Bector IPO and whether I'm going for it or not. So make sure that you watch that one as well. That's it for this one. If you like this, like it. If you did not, then just let me know why so I can improve. Anyway, happy trading.